guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, my name is Kay or Kutlano. My real name is Kutlano, my nickname is Kay. And if you are not new around here, hey, what's up? If you are watching this video, you are probably curious about the process of trading your license, your driver's license, for a Korean license. I am obviously going to be speaking from the perspective of a South African driver. So I had a South African license and I traded that for a Korean license. This video is not going to talk about how to get an international driver's license. I don't know anything about how to do that or what that implies. And it's also not going to talk about getting a Korean license from scratch. It will purely talk about trading your existing license from your home country for a Korean one. Okay, now that we are done with disclaimers, I'll get into it. So it's a fairly easy process actually. Excuse me if I look at my phone, I don't want to mess up any of this information. But it's a fairly easy process. Basically what you're doing is you're gonna have to hand in your existing license from your home country. So I gave them my South African license in exchange for a Korean one. So they will keep your license from your home country with them. You don't have that anymore. Just a tip, I would take photos of it and photocopy it before you give it to them for car rental reasons later. Anyway, we'll get there. You are going to have to hand in your license to the Korean, I don't know what to call it, traffic department, I guess, licensing center, I don't know. But yeah, and then when you leave Korea for good, you can go and get it back. I don't know if you get to keep then the Korean license. I hope you do, because that would just make things easier when you go back to your home country. But anyway, so just for context about why I did this, I did this because my license, my South African license, was expiring in June this year. So I did this process in May in a hurry because I realized that my license was expiring, and I figured, you know what, it's always good to have an active driver's license, so why don't I just trade my South African one for a Korean one. And also I wanted to go on vacation to Jeju, which I did, which was awesome. But everyone knows that if you go on vacation to Jeju, it's better to drive around. It's not a must, it's just better, and I wanted to do that, but I would need a license for that, so here we are. Anyway, so the process is fairly simple. What you need to do is, so you're going to need a valid license. It can't be expired, because then you're going to have to do the Korean test like from scratch to get a Korean license, like driving and everything. But yeah, you are going to need a valid license from your home country, and then you are going to have to do a bunch of things to prepare for your trip to the licensing center, your local licensing center. And then at your local licensing center, there are some things you have to do as well. So beforehand, what you need to do is you need to organize documents. So the first document that you need is you need a letter from your embassy certifying that your driver's license is valid. Okay, you can do this in person or you can do this via post, at least for the South African embassy. I don't know how it's working for other countries because of COVID, but yeah, even if it wasn't COVID, I was a school teacher at the time in Gongju, and the Korean embassy in Seoul has basically the same work hours of a teacher in the countryside, like in Gongju, I mean. And so even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have been able to go to the embassy in person unless I took time off, which I didn't really want to do. So I sent mine by post. So you have to send your actual driver's license to the embassy. Some people don't recommend this because what if it gets lost in the post? And even the embassy, like, they tell you, I advise emailing them before so that they know it's coming, kind of thing, and also so that you have proof that you sent it. And also they will tell you the process of this, but I'm going to tell you in this video anyway. But it's better to email them so that they know that you're trying to do this thing. But yeah, the embassy, in that email that they will respond to you with, they will say that if it gets lost in the post, hade bruh. Hade, there's nothing they can do about it, sorry, it's, you know. So you can use a courier service as well. That's obviously more expensive, and but you'll be able to track it, and maybe if it gets lost you'll be able to deal with it more. I don't know. I sent mine by post and it was fine. I think the Korean post is fine, but yeah. And I think it happened really quickly. I sent it on like a Thursday, got it back on like a Monday. For sending the driver's license to the embassy, this is for the South African embassy. Again, I don't know how it works in other countries, but I'm assuming the process would be more or less the same if you're going to do this by post. Obviously, if you go in person, you're just going to take all of these things with you in person. But yeah, you need to send your valid South African driver's license card. Okay, the original one, the actual one. So this is, I guess, the risky part. Or whatever country you're from. A copy of your passport and your ARC. And then you need to send a self-addressed envelope and return postage. You need to pay for return postage. So that when they send it back, they just put it in the envelope that you've already addressed to yourself and it's already paid for, so they can just send it. You may purchase a postage stamp sticker. In Korean it's called a 등기 서납라베, at the nearest post office and attach it to your self-addressed envelope. Okay, according to the Korea Post, registered mail must be received in person only. If nobody's at home during work hours, you can put your work address. That part, according to the Korean Post, whatever, the 기사님, the driver who delivers the post is just gonna call you and be like, hey, are you home? And you're gonna be like, no, I'm not at home. And he'll be like, so what do you want me to do? And I'll be like, well, just leave it outside. So he just left it outside. If you don't live in a safe building, although most buildings in Korea tend to be safe, don't do that. But I lived in a very well secured villa, so I just told him to leave it outside and it was fine. So yeah, that's what you need to do. You send all of that to the embassy, then they're going to send back everything and a letter that says that your license has been certified to be real. Then you need to organize the rest of your documents that you're going to take with you when you go to the licensing center. So if you are in Gongju, by any odd chance that a Gongju person is watching this video, it is far. It is so in the countryside. It took like 2 buses and one of the buses took like an hour. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully you have licensing centers near you wherever you are in Korea. But yeah, just find your nearest licensing center in your city, and then you need to prepare the following documents. You don't need to make an appointment. Again, I would check this because every city is probably going to be different, but in Gongju I just walked in there on a day off and I was like, hey, do the thing. So yeah, you are gonna need the following. So you need your embassy certificate. It has to be in English. If, for example, you're sending to the French embassy to certify your driver's license and they send you a certificate back, you need to make sure that it's in English. I don't know what that process would be because the South African one is already in English. But yeah, you need that certificate from the embassy that verifies that your license is valid. You need an immigration certificate. So it says from birth to the present. It just kind of documents your time in Korea, and in Korean it's called a 출입국 사실 증명서. 출입국 사실 증명서. Okay, it's a mouthful, but basically what that does is it proves the dates you've been in and out of Korea. So mine had my trip back in, was it 2018, when I came to Korea for like 10 days, and then it had my entering Korea in 2019 until the present. You do need that. You can get that at your nearest immigration office or community center. Personally, going to immigration in this country is so I would say get it at your nearest community center and it'll be in and out. You just show them your ARC, tell them what you're looking for, and then they'll make it up for you. Then when you go to the licensing center, you will also need your passport, your ARC, alien registration card, your actual driver's license, your physical examination fee. So when you get to the licensing center, you have to do a physical examination. To be honest, it's just the eye test. Was there a hearing test? I don't even remember. I remember doing an eye test. I think it's just an eye test. And even then, it's not like, you know, if you've had your medical check in Korea, it's not even to that level. It's just like, stand there, can you see that? Okay, cool. And then you're done. But yeah, you need 6,000 won to do that. The prices may have changed by whenever you're watching this video, but this is as of 2021. You need 6,000 won for a physical exam. There should be a test center at the licensing center, so don't worry about going to a hospital or anything. Then the issuance cost is 10,000 won. So to get the actual Korean license then is 10,000 won. And you will need 3 color photos, which are 4x4 dimension wise. Although I think they used 1 if not 2 when I was there. I don't think they used all 3. I think they used 2 actually. I don't remember. But anyway, I don't know if they used all 3, but just have 3 on you. And then if you are from certain countries or certain states in America, don't ask me America why it works like that for you guys. I don't know. But certain countries and certain states in America have to do a written test on the day. You don't have to do the driving test, thank goodness, but you have to do a written test proving that you know, like how all of the road signs in Korea work and whatever. Some countries are exempt, they don't have to do it, and some states in America don't have to do it, but South Africa is definitely one of the countries where you need to do the written test. The written test is not difficult. It's basically general knowledge. If you're South African, it's like taking the K53 but the Korean edition, I guess. And I think also because we drive on the opposite side of the road, they want to make sure that we don't cause situations because we get confused. So basically all of your rules will be reversed. So like if in South Africa, if you're on the highway, the right is the fast lane, right? And the left is the slow lane. In Korea, it's the opposite. The left is the fast lane and the right is the slow lane. So it's rules like that. And then yeah, road signs, and then there's a lot of situational questions. So like if A is driving and then B comes from this side and then C is at the back doing this, which situation is like, what is the best way for A to react? Those kinds of questions. The written test is not actually written, it's computerized, and depending on your licensing center. So my idea was to go early in the morning. I think I was there by like 10-11ish. And then they were like, oh, by the way, you have to wait until 1 o'clock to be able to write the written test. So maybe look into that. I don't know, look into that before you go. But yeah, I had to wait there for like an hour to take the written test. But yeah, then when I took the written test, it was like super simple. I was in and out. I can't remember the pass mark. It was, I think you need like 60 or 70 out of 100 or something like that. I can't remember, look it up. But yeah, it was fairly easy, although there are some trick questions, but that goes for any test that you ever take in life. And then this will likely not happen to you, but it happened to me, so I'm telling it now as a story time. Story time. If you are from a country like South Africa that has more than one official language, make sure you know how to explain that you have more than one official language, because what are the odds that the day that I decide, hey, let me go trade my license and go to the licensing center, another South African guy is there, and I was there first, so my whole process was going smoothly, and then I was waiting to write the written test, and they called me and they were like, hey, so we have a problem with your license. I was like, what do you mean you have a problem with my license? We were cool like 2 minutes ago. They say, oh no, this guy is also from South Africa, but look at his license, it looks different. This guy was Afrikaans, okay, and his license was either completely in Afrikaans or it was in English and Afrikaans, okay. My license is only in English, okay. I didn't even know that you can have an Afrikaans license, okay. Regardless, this lady is like, you guys are from the same country, but your licenses don't look the same. And they also have a book with like all of the licenses from every country ever. Mine matches that one, but now mine is in question because his is different. So now I had to bust out all of the Korean I could manage and explain to her that because in South Africa we have 11 official languages, his is just in his native language as well. It's the same information, but it's just in Afrikaans, and I had to explain this. And this guy was like, he wasn't going to be able to explain this if I wasn't there, because he told me afterwards, he was like, if you weren't here, I don't know what would have happened, because, well, actually, if I wasn't there, he probably would have gotten a license, no problem, unless it still didn't match the book, because the point was, just in the case that you are South African and you go there on the same day as another South African who has a license that's in a different language, just know how to explain that. Because then she was like, oh really? And I was like, yeah. Then now she's suspicious, so she checks all of our documents against each other, and then I don't know who at the embassy stamped his thing. It was a different person to who stamped mine, so that became an issue. All I'm saying is, you're probably not gonna have to explain that, but maybe just, you know, put that into Papago and then like take it with you and be like, hey, we have a lot of official languages, that is why my license is in a different language, but it's still a South African license, as you can see, because it was verified by the embassy. But anyway, end of story time. So that happened. But yeah, and then I wrote the written test, and then it didn't even take 30 minutes after I came out and I passed the test and I had my license, and then I could go. So that's cool. Now let's talk about the experience of actually driving in Korea. So I was like, before I go to Jeju, let me practice and drive somewhere nearby. I wanted to go to the beach. The nearest beach to me at the time was in Boryeong, which is further than I thought it was. So I rented a car with Lotte Rental Car, sorry. Their website is in English, and I had heard from someone that, you know, they're super foreigner friendly, so I booked the car. What I am going to say to you is, most car rental services in Korea require you to have 1 year of driving experience on your Korean license. You can see how this is a conundrum for most of us. Okay, I did not have 1 year of driving experience on my Korean license, but Lotte did not ask me. Okay, Lotte did not ask me, and so it was fine. It's in their policy though, so I wasn't able to like do a lot of booking online. Like I booked online, and then I couldn't like confirm my booking online because they were like, you haven't had your license for a year. And then I was just like, So then the next day I just showed up in person and it was okay. So if you're a foreigner with less than a year on your license, I suggest Lotte Rental Car for rentals. But other places are going to be a bit stricter. So I drove in Gongju. I'll add that vlog at the end after I'm done speaking. And yeah, that was also an experience because I haven't driven in 2 years, number one, at that time. Number two, yeah, I don't know guys, I feel like Korean road signs are strange. Maybe it's because they're unfamiliar to me, but I feel like the way the Korean roads are set up is very confusing. And in the first hour I couldn't figure out how to make my GPS in English, so I was following the Korean GPS, which was also confusing. So that was an experience. And then also I'm not used to driving on the other side of the road, so I have to like remind myself like, oh kanane, I'm supposed to be driving on the side of the road. Not like my car was on the wrong side of the road, but it was just like before I enter a road I'm like, oh okay, I have to turn like this so that but otherwise you just follow the cars in front of you. It's just like when you're in the front you get confused for a second and you're like, what? But yeah, it was an experience, but now I'm fine. I'm used to driving in Korea. I still can't drive in Seoul. Yeah, that's a story for another video, driving in Seoul. But I've driven in the like not Seoul of Korea. Everywhere else in Korea I can drive, and in Jeju I can drive. So then another rental company for foreigners. If you want to rent a car but you have less than 1 year on your Korean license, another rental company that's okay to use, I guess it depends who you get on the day, Tamara Rental, they were fine. They let me book and everything. Then when I got to Jeju, the chick was like, you haven't had your license for a year, we can't give you the car. So then I was like, wait, I have a picture of my South African one. So I had to give her that, and then she printed the pictures as proof. So this is why I say, before you hand in your license, your South African one, because now you don't have it on you to prove it, you need to get it photocopied and take pictures of it. Even better if it's you, like if you copy the certified copy from the embassy, that's even better. I wish someone had told me this. I only took pictures and photocopies of it because I'm paranoid, and I'm glad I did. So I'm just telling you so that you know before you trade for a Korean license. But yeah, that is basically the whole process of it. And then for studying for the written test, there is an app that I recommend because there are a lot of user unfriendly apps out there. It's called, Jaurné Plus, you're not gonna solve all the problems on it. It's got more than 400 questions. You're not gonna do that. If you study at least a good 100, 200, you'll pass the test, in my opinion. If you can study all of them, good for you. But even then, they'll ask you stuff like, what does the Road Traffic Act say about this? I don't even know the Road Traffic Act of South Africa. Like, how am I supposed to know the Korean one? So yeah, discretion again. But yeah, that's the app I would recommend to study, and that's all I have to say about that. So I'm going to put in the Gongju vlog now and let that play. It's not long. I'm just talking about my Korean driving experience and kind of showing you my trip. Hey guys, driving in Korea is kicking my ass. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not like I've been in an accident or anything, but like, I don't know if it's because I haven't driven in 2 years or if Korea's road signs and stuff are confusing. IDK. But anyway, then I had a problem with my high pass thingy, because you know, like, the high pass is the thing that goes off automatically in the toll gate. For some reason, I thought that a rental car would have a high pass thing installed, so I've just been going through that, which means I wasn't paying my toll gates for like 3 times. So I just went in and I paid them. But now I'm just gonna do cash because stress. But yeah, let's go continue the drive. Here is the car that I got. I just rented the Avante. This is the inside of the car. Isn't she pretty? This is the high pass thing that just made me have to walk in there and pay my bills because I thought I didn't have to. But yeah, I'm also starving, so there's that. And I think I'm very far from my destination still because I got lost a few times. Because the navigation was also really confusing, and it's in Korean. It was in English and then it switched to Korean, so I don't know what's going on. I'm going through a lot, guys. But it's good that I practiced, because my plan was... Where's my cell phone? Oh. My plan is to go to Jeju. Oh, I guess Samida. My plan is to go to Jeju, and I wanted to practice before, even though people are like, well, Jeju is a lot easier to drive in. But yeah, driving in the city is confusing AF. Anyway, and I haven't driven in 2 years, so there's also that. But anyway, we move. I think I'm still gonna go where I wanted to go because I'm gonna feel like I didn't accomplish my mission. But yeah, I have significantly less time now. Should I still go? Yeah, let's just go. Okay, bye. Just having an Americano at the beach. Yeah. I'm just sitting at the beach, sipping my Americano. I'm not gonna be here for long because I only have sunscreen on. I don't have a hat, so I'm just looking at the water. I've been feeling like really stressed out and overwhelmed, and I guess uncertain about the future and certain things, and you know, all sorts of deep existential crisis stuff like that. So the reason I actually rented the car today is because I really wanted to come to the beach and just spend some time myself. I'm just gonna sit here and chill and walk along the beach maybe a bit later, and then I'm gonna head to the city where my accommodation actually is. I couldn't get accommodation here, so I'm in the next city, but that's okay. Hello everyone, I've not been great about vlogging today, but to be honest, I spend more time driving than I spend doing anything else. But like, my point today was to practice driving. I wasn't really trying to travel, you dig? So I didn't really have like did I just say you dig? I did. I'm gonna put that on the internet. Yes, I am. Anyway, so I wasn't really planning on traveling, so I didn't have like a set plan. I just knew that I really just want to go sit on the beach. Like, not even so much like, you know, in somewhere and like catch a whatever and do and like feed in the sun. I just wanted to go sit on the beach and just be. And I video called my parents on the beach, and I just sat there and I people watched, and you know, I thought a little bit, and yeah, that was enough for me for today. I was gonna go to a cafe on my way back because, like I said, my hotel is in Gongju, whereas the beach I was at was in Boryeong, which is not, it's like an hour. So that's why I say I did mostly driving today. But yeah, I was gonna go to a cafe, but then when I got to the cafe, I was just like, I really don't feel like it. So I got some dessert. And yeah, I got some dessert and now I'm at my hotel. So I want to give you guys a room tour because what I did is I got like a super cheap hotel. Actually, the reason I almost said motel there is because it feels like a motel. Like the key card has a couple kissing on it, so and yeah, it probably is. But I got a king suite, so it doesn't feel, it's called a hotel, like the name has hotel in it, not motel, but it feels a little bit like a motel. Korea be like that sometimes. Okay, this is when you come in. This is that lovely key card I was telling you about. Kissing couple. All my lights are off. There you go. Switch on the bathroom light. I don't know what that was. Anyway, so here's the bathroom. Make it bigger. Here's the bathroom, and it's got this awesome shower. Shower. And then if you go over here, it's got a, what is that, folks? A bathtub. A bathtub. I'm very excited to use, by the way, this bathtub. Then we have the rest of the room. So the room that I originally booked had like a white curtain, but I guess that's not important. It's just me. I really like bright rooms, so I don't like when rooms have like all sorts of stuff going on. But anyway, then my favorite thing in the universe, okay, not in the universe, but I really like this thing that a lot of Korean hotels have in them now that refreshes your clothes. So like if you don't have time to like put your clothes in a washing machine or like send them to the laundry or whatever, and maybe you just want it to be refreshed, this thing will do that for you. And it will like steam your clothes and take the germs out and dry it. How fantastic. So I'm going to do that to my cardigan from today. Got a little snack section, TV. There's a computer as well, a little mini fridge. And then these are mine. These did not come with the room. And then, you know, your things that you need and such. And there's I. How's it? I'm so tired, but like I need to eat now, so I think I'm gonna order delivery and then just go fetch it like outside of the hotel. Yeah, okay. But yeah, bye. And here is my feast. So we have some broth and then we have some UK bibimbap. So bibimbap is like mixed, it's like a bunch of veggies and rice that you mix together and eat with like condiments and stuff. I don't know how to explain it, Google it. But the difference is that you add, this one has UK in it. UK is raw beef. It sounds gross, but it tastes really good. And we got some salmon, sashimi. And then this is a lemon meringue cake. And that's my leftover Americano. And yeah, this is my feast. Yay! Hey guys, so it is day 2. I'm at the Gongsan Fortress. Song means fortress, but anyway, let's just call it the Gongsan Fortress. I'm just walking around and it's nice and everything is green and lush. And apparently this site is connected to the Baekje,
the Royal Palace of Baekje or something like that. Yeah, this is connected to a royal palace. I'm not in the mood to hike, really, nor am I dressed for that occasion. I mean, I'm dressed fairly comfortably, I just don't want to. But yeah, I'm just gonna look around and I'll show you guys as well. Then I need to find a cafe to get some grub in me. And then I'm gonna head back to Cheongju. Oh, and I need to get gas as well. I need to get petrol. So there's that. But let's go.